It's March. Can you smell the tension in the air? A time where high school kids in the Lehigh Valley play in some of the greatest games you will ever see. This may not be the Stanley Cup playoffs, but these teams will play like the cup is in the building. For the second consecutive year, the LVSHL playoffs will be hosted at the PPL Center. Thank you to the Lehigh Valley Phantoms for helping us in trying to grow the game of hockey. There are 4 teams to battle for the Varsity division. These are their stories. In the least surprising thing that happened this season, the Northampton Concrete Kids are still as dominant as ever. An outstanding year with a 9-win, 0-loss, and 1-tie record with one of the best offenses in the league. Lorenzo Tita, despite missing the first 3 games of the season, has continued to destroy everything in his path. Gavin Molikoff and Bryce Shockey also playing well as the lead forwards. Nicholas Koch also took a big step with a career year. And Balin Smargiassi, who has been statistically and based on what I have seen from him in person, has been the best goalie in the Lehigh Valley this year. There's also that McCray Ross kid. Perhaps he could get his first goal of the season in the playoffs. That's all well and good, but I must warn you, this may be this team's last shot with the current core. It's normal for high school teams to lose seniors every year, but it's going to sting losing this senior class. Look at all the talent on this list. The top 3 scorers, including Lorenzo Tita, will be gone, and their great goalie in Smargiassi. Honestly, I do think they have what it takes to reclaim their title, but the first round opponent won't make it easy. Don't let this team's 3-win, 5-loss, and 2-tie record fool you. The Blue Eagles may have a legit chance against Northampton right now, and here is why. In last year's regular season finale, the Eagles only fell to the Kids 1-0. In the playoffs, Nazareth played well and were tied versus the Kids until the final few minutes of the third period. Moving forward to present day, in 2024, the Eagles tied to Northampton 3-3 and only lost to them 2-1 in this year's regular season finale. The point is that even if the Eagles haven't defeated the Concrete Kids since 2022, they seem to be the only team besides the 2023 Spartans to be able to compete with the defending champs. Now that they will play the Orange and Black in the first round again, all they need is 1 game. And as long as Ryan Murphy in goal is still as good as advertised, the Eagles will have a shot. And if the offense can get on the board a little more often. Let's see how it plays out. On paper, this is the best offense in the LVSHL, scoring 72 goals this year. And these statistics are not unjustified. 3 of the top 5 players in the league for points are on this roster. Off the bat, one man leads the charge. Donovan Richards. He leads the league in goals with 18 and 30 points in only 10 games. Dominic Nitosi and Tyler Bertelsen also playing elite as we witness the 2024 incarnation of the Legion of Doom. With that part of their game well intact, that doesn't mean this team is foolproof. The key for Bethlehem will be the defense and goaltending. It will be critical for these positions to play effectively. It needs to go the right way in order for Bethlehem to win it all. This team's direction in the playoffs can go in many different ways. Regardless of what happens, there is at least one positive for Bethlehem. The Spartans cannot hurt you anymore. Good times. After a 2-year hiatus, the Saints are back in action for another shot at that glorious title. The last 2 times the Saints made it into the playoffs, they made it to the finals in 2021 and 2022, only to fall short to Northampton and Southern Lehigh. And while this roster has a few players from previous runs, it is mostly a brand new core. Meet Alec James. He has blossomed into a top 4 the Saints desperately needed this year. His brother Connor has done a fine job managing the defense along with Sean Ambrogi. David McIsaac, who was acquired in the draft, was a great pick as he is playing perhaps his best hockey yet. Duncan Mitchelltree in the depth playing decent roles. And veterans in Henry Long and Ethan DeLello doing what they can too. This could be a sleeper team in the Varsity division this year. I see the upside and potential here. Good luck, Saints. I hope that you are just as excited as I am for this postseason, and I am glad to say that just like last year, I will be broadcasting the playoffs. Here is my channel's schedule. In the first week, I will cover both of the semifinal games in the Varsity Division, then follow up with Game 1 of the best-of-3 final series in the Varsity Division. In the second week of games, I will be granting the wishes of many, broadcasting games other than the Varsity Division. I will be covering all of the championship games. First off, the Junior Varsity Final and Game 2 of the Varsity Series. Also, I will be doing the Youth and Middle School Finals. Don't worry, I'll cover Game 3 for the Varsity Series too if it is necessary. Let the games begin. You're watching the LVSHL Phantoms Cup Playoffs, only on Nick's Hockey Broadcast.